So I think we had really a better year than what we were expecting. Given La Nina conditions, which typically means we'll see stronger trades than normal. Surf generally is maybe a little smaller than normal, especially if we're talking like XL type swells. But really what we saw were a lot of like long periods of light winds, really good conditions, or if we had trades that had a lot of east in them, so still really good conditions. And we had a number of swells ranging from, you know, kind of XL to XXL, all the way to like those mid to large swells. So a lot of really good pipe and backdoor days, a couple of like all-time Outer Reef days, and one really good Waimea day as well. You know, so basically starting beginning of December with that really big swell, and then it came down a little bit, but still saw a number of like kind of medium to large size swells through December, and then another really big swell around mid-January, that super swell Saturday swell. So, you know, had, gosh, I don't know, 6, 7 swells from beginning of December all the way through the middle of January, where it basically just pumped, and we had good conditions that whole time too. So Super Swell Saturday swell was probably the biggest, cleanest swell of the last few years, most likely. And at first, like the normal spots, pipe, backdoor, those kind of traditional wave of the winter spots, they were maxed out, way too big. But some of the outer reefs were insane. We actually have legitimate contenders from some of the outer reefs for wave of the winter entries this year. So we had pumping surf on that main day, which was Saturday, and then kind of on the front side of the swell and the back side of the swell, we had great conditions and also still solid surf. So I had some great entries at pipe and backdoor.
Yeah. Okay, Brian. Let's go. Oh, this is the best I've ever seen. Oh, this is epic. Oh my God. Oh! I think it's done. Oh my God! I might have to run. Film it though.
The Pipeline Valentine swell actually was 2 swells over the course of 4 days. Kind of came up through Friday, really got pretty good Friday evening. Saturday was out of control for the most part and started to turn on like late in the day. And then Sunday and Monday were like basically all time at pipe and backdoor. The swells were really pretty westerly, so both spots are working, a little bit off the wall here and there too. I think the thing that really made it were the conditions though. We basically had 0 wind. For the entirety of it. It was glassy in the mornings with light easterly trades and maybe a little sea breeze to the middle part of the day, and then clean up again in the evening. So, in particular on Valentine's Day, that Sunday and that Monday was probably the 2 best days of pipe and backdoor this year.
Better take a walk, try and clear your Wait. So which buggers decides who rode the wave of the winter? Our legendary judges do. That's who. How? Each judge picks their top 10 rides. Points are allotted based on where a ride ends up on the judges' list. If a ride falls outside of the overall top 10, that ride receives 11 points. Then, those points are tallied and the surfer with the least amount of points is made winner, chicken dinner. If there's a tie, the nod goes to the surfer who showed up in the highest spot on the judges' list. Hey, trust the process, bruh.
It was a very strange year. We had a lot of really, really high quality days at Backdoor and off the wall and pipeline.
There was just too many good waves or too many swells. Pipe went off. This is the kind of year that guys that like pipe live for.
It's a lot easier when there's one wave or one ride that has stood head and shoulders above everyone else. So it was all over the place.
All of them stood out, and that's why it was so difficult.
I really like years like this because, like Gerry might think one wave is the winner by far, and I might think a completely different wave is the winner by far, and it might not be in anyone else's top 10. And I think that's kind of a good thing.
Some guys choose maybe more of the wave or more of the ride. Some of the goofy footers tend to lean more towards the pipe waves that are on our front end.
I lean a lot more towards the wave than the other judges.
There were different rides that the judges had. Everyone had it was scrambled all over the place, so it made it really interesting.
Kind of worked out when you added all the placings between the judges up. There was a tie between Mark and Griffin's pipe wave. Because Mark had a first, at least on my scorecard, and Griffin didn't have a first on any of the judges' scorecards. That gave the nod to Mark.
To me, it wasn't the clear winner, but I think it ticked all the boxes. It had the size is number one for me. Is there's no way a smaller wave can win. It was intense. He was super deep. It was kind of a gnarly drop. He was deep kind of the whole time. He didn't have to stall at all. And it was an unusual wave of pipe. It definitely wasn't your average wave of pipeline.
No, that was a difficult wave to catch. I mean, he really had to claw his way into that. The other guys, you can see him, if you watch the video, they're trying to get out of the way of that wave. And here's Healy, he wants it. He got it. It wasn't easy to get, but he got it.
Mark rode his wave perfectly, and pipeline delivered once more.
For me, that was the wave of the winner. How's it going, Mark?
Man, it's going really good. At home, been diving, surfing a little bit, spearfishing, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, bro. A couple years back, I picked you for the wave of the winter, but all the other guys, I think they picked Quito that year. He had that kind of crazy late takeoff, but your wave was, in my eyes, the perfect, you set it up from the outside, you paddled in so smooth, you set your line, and you just rode it like I would have wanted to ride it. And, this year was kind of crazy because there was so many, I guess, because there were so many good days, there were so many good rides, and man, as judges, we were all over the place on, who was in first. But this year I picked you again, and because I did, you won, bro. So congratulations. Stoked
No
for
way.
you.
How did I win that? No way. That is awesome. I did not expect this. Wow. It's an honor, man. It's the funniest thing because I was out there for 2 hours that day and I could not buy a wave. Having an absolute shocker. I was like, this is not my day. Pipeline with that crowd, which they're all friends and everything, and I still get most of the waves I want. There's days where you just don't catch a wave, and there can be weeks where you don't catch a good wave. So I was, swear to God, about to paddle in. Like, it's not my day. I can't force it. I was gonna paddle in, and then finally this peak popped up, and it looked like it had a pretty long wall on it. And I remember getting to the bottom of the wave because I kind of chased. I was a little far out. I chased it, which means I was like really scooted up on the nose of my board. So I get into the wave and I'm coming off the bottom. I'm like, I felt like I was too far up on my board. And as I'm coming up, I feel white water hit my head and I'm like, oh my God, like I barely made it in there. And then it kind of bubbled open and I actually got a chance, because I always think about this, like how many times I've gotten up on waves with bad foot positioning and never made an effort to actually change that. Like in the barrel, like at this point, you don't have much to lose. And I felt like I couldn't generate enough speed to make the sections ahead of me. So I actually scooted my feet back on my board a little bit in the barrel. And I felt like an immediate pickup in speed. And it went for 2 sections. And the exit actually wanted to clamp on me. So I'm glad I scooted a little bit back on my board because I was able to highline it on the way out, get out of that little pinch at the end. It's funny because I couldn't tell. It was a super crowded, chaotic day. I couldn't tell where that little chunk of white water chandelier came from. I figured somebody must have paddled for the wave too. And then I saw the footage later and it was the boil. So, I mean, those are the waves I always like. That's my thing out there. Everybody has their little spot that they like to be in. I like to be pulling in as you hit the boil, which I would say 90% of good pipe waves are ridden are right on top of the boil or actually a little further over. So it's just a peak in a zone that I like to be at. And, it's my definition of a good wave, one that connects from there all the way through. I'm pretty blown away. This is a total surprise to me, and it's an honor. I'm really stoked right now.